The clock tower screamed before Liora reached its final stair. Bronze bells twisted inward, ringing without ropes or hands. Below her, Eidolon City folded like paper around the square. A black hourglass hovered above Mayor Varric's frozen celebration crowd. Liora saw Oren Vale trapped inside the falling grains. Then the hourglass cracked, and his eyes opened with terror. Varric smiled beside it, untouched by the stop storm. He whispered, "Bring me the Ember Key before sunrise." Liora's copper-left eye burned, showing hidden gears beneath stone. She wanted to run, but her father's breath was vanishing. Her clockwork raven, Pip, clawed her shoulder and shrieked. A falling bell smashed the stairs behind them into sparks. Liora grabbed Pip, leapt through smoke, and chose the roof. The city below was silent, except for ticking everywhere. She understood one cruel thing before choosing her next breath. The curse was spreading through every clock in Eidolon. Wind slammed Liora against the roof's dragon-shaped gutters. Pip unfolded brass wings and projected a trembling map. The Ember Key rested beneath the abandoned lantern quarry. Every street between them pulsed with awakened clockwork guards. Liora's fear sharpened because she hated choosing wrong paths. Still, she tied her tool belt and whispered, "We move." A guard's spotlight climbed the tower, hunting her shadow. Liora dropped into Gear Market Alley, landing beside steam carts. Mechanical guards marched past, faces blank as sealed doors. Their chests carried hourglass symbols glowing with stolen seconds. Pip clicked softly, copying their rhythm to mask footsteps. An old storyteller, Marn, crawled from beneath a shutter. He pressed a cracked compass into Liora's shaking hand. "Your father hid truth there tonight," Marn warned. Then guards turned and the alley filled with blades. Liora pulled Marn behind barrels as blades scraped brick. She hated strangers risking themselves because of her mistakes. Marn said, "Varric didn't build that hourglass alone." The compass needle pointed not north, but toward Liora's chest. Pip pecked its glass, revealing her family crest underneath. Liora decided Marn knew too much to abandon. Together, they slipped through a drain beneath boiling gutter water. The drainway breathed warm mist like something sleeping below. Marn limped behind Liora, clutching his patched purple cloak. Pip's eyes glowed, painting arrows across the sweating walls. A drowned clockwork eel erupted from the black channel. Liora swung her wrench, but fear weakened her first strike. Marn shouted, "Trust the copper eye, not your hands." She looked through hidden gears and saw the eel's paws. Her second strike shattered its spring heart into glittering teeth. The eel's corpse released tiny sparks shaped like memories. One spark showed Liora's father forging the Ember Key. Another showed Varric standing beside him, younger and desperate. Liora realized the key belonged to her family, not him. The discovery hurt more than the monster's sudden attack. She decided answers mattered, but rescue mattered more. Pip stored the sparks inside his chest, whirring nervously. They reached the quarry gate beneath cracked angel statues. Huge lantern chains descended into darkness, humming with heat. The compass opened, unfolding teeth around Liora's copper eye. Marn stepped back, afraid of what it recognized. A stone mouth above the gate asked her worst memory. Liora whispered, "I left my father during the fire." The gate opened, accepting pain as the only password. Behind them, Varric's distant voice echoed through the tunnels. Liora, Marn, and Pip rode a chain platform downward. Lantern crystals floated around them like captured orange moons. Each crystal showed citizens frozen inside their happiest moments. Marn revealed Varric once promised Eidolon endless safe years. He stole seconds from festivals, birthdays, and sleeping children. Liora clenched her wrench, disgusted by the city's bargain. The platform jerked as guards cut the upper chains. She chose to jump before gravity made the decision. Pip caught her sleeve, but Marn slipped toward darkness. Liora hooked his cloak with her wrench at the edge. The wrench bent badly, her only tool nearly breaking. Marn gasped, "Leave me if the key demands sacrifice." Liora answered, "No machine gets to choose my heart." They crashed onto a lower ledge beside roaring furnaces. Above them, guards began climbing down the severed chains. The Ember Vault stood behind doors made from sleeping sunlight. Liora's copper eye saw locks spinning across impossible layers. Pip connected his brass beak to the first lock. Marn read symbols carved by Liora's father years earlier. The final symbol matched the scar under Liora's eye. She touched it, and the doors opened like breathing lungs. Inside waited no key, only a small iron cradle. The cradle held a baby-sized flame with her father's voice. It said, "Liora, the Ember Key is not metal." Her knees weakened as the flame copied his tired face. Varric had trapped part of him here before tonight. Marn looked away, hiding shame behind his silver beard. Liora demanded truth, and the vault walls answered with memories. Marn had guided Varric here, believing he would save everyone. Marn confessed the hourglass needed a living bloodline compass. That compass was Liora's copper eye, built after the fire. Varric needed her, not the key, to finish control. The threat became personal, sharp as glass in breathing. Liora decided she would use being hunted against him. She lifted the speaking flame into Pip's chest. Pip trembled, carrying her father's voice like sacred thunder. Then Varric arrived, applauding softly in the vault doorway. Varric wore gold armor shaped like elegant clock hands. His smile remained calm while guards filled the doorway. He said, "Your father feared power, so I improved him." Liora stepped between Varric and Pip without hesitation. Marn raised his cane, though his hands shook badly. Varric revealed sunrise would seal every citizen inside perfect memory. No hunger, no grief, no choice, no aging. Liora shouted, "That is not truly saving them." Varric fired a black chain from his hourglass gauntlet. It wrapped Pip, dragging the raven across burning tiles. The flame inside Pip dimmed, and her father's voice screamed. Liora threw her broken wrench, knocking the gauntlet aside. Marn flamed his cane into a guard's exposed knee. They ran through a side arch as the vault cracked. Varric ordered the quarry to awaken and bury them alive. The mine corridors shifted, rearranging rails into deadly spirals. Pip flew crookedly, leaking sparks from one brass wing. Liora followed his light while Marn counted collapsing beats. A crystal wall showed her father reaching toward young Liora. She nearly stopped, trapped by the memory's pleading warmth. Marn snapped. "He needs your future, not your guilt." Liora chose forward, breaking the crystal with bare knuckles. The wall exploded, revealing a lift toward the surface. They rode the lift upward as rails tore themselves apart. Pip projected the city square, where citizens cracked like statues. Only 15 minutes remained before sunrise sealed the hourglass. Liora believed they had the flame and still had time. Then the flame flickered, whispering, "The square is only bait." The real machine was beneath the clock tower's oldest bell. Varric had moved the final lock while they descended. Their victory collapsed into a colder, sharper race. They burst onto Gear Market Bridge as fog swallowed rooftops. Mechanical guards blocked both ends with rotating spear arms. Marn saw no path, and Liora saw too many. Her fear returned, demanding perfect choices she never had. Pip opened his chest, releasing her father's flame outward. The flame entered the bridge lamps, turning fog into silhouettes. Hidden maintenance cables appeared beneath the bridge's cracked floorboards. Liora chose the dangerous lower cables over certain capture. They crawled across cables above the sleeping canal machines. A guard spear cut Marn's cloak, nearly severing his grip. Liora grabbed him, but her copper eye flashed violently. It showed the safest path and the price together. Someone had to release the cable lock from behind. Marn smiled sadly, understanding before she could refuse. He handed her his cracked compass with both trembling hands. "Finish what my cowardice began," he said. Marn kicked the release lever as guards reached him. The cable snapped forward, launching Liora and Pip upward. Marn fell back among guards, cane raised against them. Liora screamed, but the fog swallowed his answering laugh. "Excite, Marn." She landed on a roof, holding the compass painfully. His sacrifice became weight, direction, and command inside her. Pip touched her cheek with his damaged brass beak. The old bell chamber hung beneath the clock tower's cracked heart. A giant bell surrounded the true hourglass machine below. Varric stood inside its rings, connecting wires to citizens. Liora entered alone with Pip circling weakly above her. The flame in Pip's chest brightened near the final lock. Varric said, "Give me your eye," and he lives. Inside the hourglass, her father pressed both hands against glass. Liora knew the offer, her father pressed both hands against glass. Liora knew the offer was shaped exactly like Merce. She asked one question to steady her breaking courage. "Father, would you trade everyone here for me?" His trapped face softened, and he shook his head. Varric snarled, pulling chains that tightened around the city. The bell began ringing, swallowing all sound into thunder. Pip dove at the wires, but guards pinned him down. Liora saw no escape, only choices with permanent wounds. So she placed the compass against her copper eye. The compass unlocked her eye, revealing a tiny ember gear. Varric lunged, desperate because his machine recognized true ownership. Liora ripped the copper eye free, screaming through blood. She threw it into Pip's open chest beside the flame. Pip became a blazing raven of gold and brass. He cut the wires, then crashed into the hourglass. The machine shattered, releasing citizens as sunrise struck them. Varric tried catching the falling ember gear with both hands. The gear burned through his gauntlet and froze his heartbeat. He looked surprised, like time had finally betrayed him. EXIT, Mayor Varric. Liora crawled toward the broken hourglass through burning dust. Orin Vale fell from glass, alive but terribly weakened. Pip lay silent beside him, one wing melted shut. Liora held them both, unable to save every part. Eidolon City woke slowly, voices returning like tidewater. Citizens found missing years in tears and trembling hands. Leora's father leaned on her, older than sunrise promised. Pip stirred once, his single eye glowing faintly. Liora touched the empty socket where certainty had lived. She no longer saw every hidden gear or safest path, but she could still choose, and that felt stronger. Above them, every clock rang freely for the first time.